Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes, or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Look, up in the sky. What is it? It's a bird. It's a plane. It's a very logical mullet. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of Electric Mullet, the Superman podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, it is, well, Superman's #1 fan, Tyler.
Hey, guys.
And making his triumphant return, it is Krypton Man's biggest fan, it is Justin the Owl.
That's right, Justin the Owl, returning from the chrysalis.
The owl has landed.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. All right, kids, that's right. This time we're going to cover part 1 of Day of the Krypton Man from Action Comics 650, Superman 41, and Adventures of Superman 464. It's a certain Bastich.
And one of the funniest Superman covers of all time.
All right, would you say the cut? I mean, we'll get to it and I'll put it up, but would you say it's ha-ha funny, or would you say it's funny?
Exactly.
Yes, that's the new Justin drop, the laugh. I was editing last night's stuff. I was like, oh, I gotta save that laugh.
Oh yeah, that's a good snippet.
Here's Justin.
Nice. Yes.
I like it. I approve.
That's perfect.
I needed something to hold me over till I get that drunken unboxing. This year's drunken unboxing video.
Yeah.
The 3rd annual drunken unboxing video.
That's right. That you always dissect for some new drops.
I mean, that's where most of your drops come from.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Like,
oh, long-haired Superman. Boo.
Yes.
That was a drunken rant.
Indeed.
All right. All right. Well, should we get into these? Because again,
yeah, we're good. Well, this first issue is a big one.
Yeah, because it's the anniversary issue. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to say I was laughing to myself because I was going to read these issues, and I couldn't tell, like, the way that was put in Phil's notes, if there was like a special issue, like, you know, sometimes arcs would start with like a special one shot. If there was one called like the Krypton Man, and then we started the series, so I'm looking for that. And he's like, "No, Tyler, you dumbass. That's the name of the arc." Oh, okay, cool. I was like, "Oh,
and
my bad."
That they put them on the covers too. The Day of the Krypton Man, part 1 or 2 of 3 of 6 or whatever. I forgot that was on the cover of these ones.
Yeah,
yeah.
It was early. Yeah. It was early, right before triangle numbers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So this
I have appreciation for when they do that.
Yeah, I think so. We started in 1990, and there's no triangle numbers. I'm thinking they start that next year in 91. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I think so. I don't think they waited till 92 to do that. But I guess we'll see.
Love that cover.
Oh yeah.
It's so good.
All right. So, Action Comics 650 from March 1990, Reflections. And again, it's a big anniversary issue, kids. So, all right, only one writer, Roger Stern, but your pencilers, George Perez, Jerry Ordway, Kurt Swan, Kerry Gamble, and Dan Jurgens. And your inkers, Brett Breeding, Bob McLeod, Art Thieber, George Perez, and Dennis Jenk. Your colorists, Glenn Whitmore and Brett Breeding, letterer Bill Oakley, and editors, Mike Carlin and Jonathan Peterson. And our buddy Draga's back. Draga goes to Draga goes to a bar in space. It's like a joke. It's like Draga walks into a bar. He should have seen it coming. Looking for someone to take him to Earth to fight Superman. Draga finds Cramden, who tells him how everyone saw his first fight with Superman and that he thinks Draga got a raw deal. Cramden agrees to take Draga to Earth, and the two begin their journey in Cramden's ship. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Superman's friends reminisce about him. Meanwhile, again, teasing next episode, Maxima makes plans to return to Earth to try and claim Superman as her mate again. Elsewhere, Lobo enters the bar that Draga just left, preparing to start a fight. Who could have seen that coming? All right, boys, what you think?
I like the guy who has Batman shaved into his head as a cabbie.
I mean, that was a that was a thing. I mean, you saw that.
It was a thing.
Yeah, back when the 89 movie come out, yeah, that was people were shaving that into their heads, yeah.
Yes, for a good year or two.
I think my favorite part of this is honestly the Lois Lane kind of piecing some stuff together.
Oh.
And trying to figure out some things about Clark, where she's like, wait a minute. That one-of-a-kind smile, and she's like, what is it?
Like she almost puts it together until her and Perry almost get in a car accident.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, seems like things are moving a certain way with Lois and Clark there. So,
But I like that. I do feel like, well, I guess this, it is like a one-shot type, like you said, but like her kind of recounting things from the past, like Man of Steel, and where she mentions the Superboy that never really existed, and Clark and him were raised together, and so I do like that, and I'll just say that over these few issues that we have, there's certain parts I'm not digging the way that Clark behaves.
Well, there's a reason for it.
I know.
There's a reason.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm just saying, I'm just reading, man, Clark, he's not a cool person.
And we do get some sort of flashbacks because they're kind of trying to retcon some pre-crisis stuff in here, like Superman first meeting the Justice League, because at this point,
that was one of my favorite parts.
At this point, post-crisis, Superman and Batman weren't members or founding members of the Justice League,
right?
Or Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they all added them in after the fact. Yeah, and I love that part because it's got that gorgeous George Paris artwork all through it.
Oh yeah, the Justice League. Yeah,
so good. Oh my god. Yeah, especially that there was that full page spread with all of them on Apocalypse.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I had forgotten how good that was. I just stopped and stared at that page for a good few minutes. I was like, oh man, I miss George. He was so good.
I know. Oh, there he is at the bottom of the page.
Batman, my favorite character.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love.
I think that was my favorite part. Was that piece of the story.
Oh yeah, and Wally bragging about his race with Superman last episode.
Yeah. And then I had forgotten about this bit of dialogue between Fire and Flash. It's like, the Titans? You mean the Teen Titans? Give me a break, she says. I've never even heard of Trigon. I bet he's a big wimp compared to Darkseid.
Oh.
I love that. I'd forgotten all about that little bit of dialogue. So good. That makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Like I said, we got the return of Draga, so...
Yeah. And that had been a long time coming. That had been a while, right? Since the last time that we saw him.
Exile, yeah.
I had to take a second guess, wait, we've had this guy. And I was like, right? And I think for a minute, just because it had been a while, but when you're reading comics and you're reading a lot and you're not really reading always in the order, when you have to go back and read for this or for that, then you're kind of start to second guess yourself. Wait, did we get this guy yet?
I mean,
it was cool it was interesting to see Power Girl here.
Yeah.
Because she's always one of those characters I forget when exactly they put her and place her in things. And considering right now we just had the Matrix thing. So to see Power Girl is interesting. It's I don't remember what happens to her character as we move forward.
Well, there's a whole... they mess around with her character a lot.
We keep trying to redo the origin since there's no more Earth 2 at the moment.
Right. They tried to make her a relation of Arion from Atlantis and all this stuff. It got really messed up for a while.
Yep.
we get some, we learn some more about our good pal Jimmy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I had to take a powder from this show while we went through Jimmy's midlife crisis with his hair falling out, and like him and the Newsboy Legion trying to gun down Superman. I was like, I can't relive that stuff. Like,
I know, that's what every episode now we're kind of like, oh, okay, Jimmy, settle down,
Ugh, enough with the Jimmy midlife crisis already. He's too young to have a midlife crisis.
Just enough with him just being like blaming Superman for everything. Like, oh, he did this to me.
Yeah, I'm blaming him for all of it. It's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't take any of that.
I mean, even like, he needs to save his mother. He's still like gonna ask Superman for help. That's how messed up it is. But yeah, I mean, we fit in a lot. Like I said, Draga, we got Sazu, Maxima.
Yes. Maxima. I was happy to see the return of Maxima, of course.
We're going to see her big next episode, yeah.
We got Clark in a really awesome smoking jacket robe.
Yeah, I love that.
What is
Dude, I want that. Like, he's got like a red ascot in that jacket. I'm like, dude, I'm like, I want that with my Superman slippers and just sit around the house.
It's great.
I mean, I know Justin noticed, but yeah, I mean, we got a lot of extra wardrobe for Superman in this.
Almerakian warlord Superman, yes, please.
And then I have to ask, because I don't remember, is this the first appearance of Lobo in like mainstream continuity?
No, he was. There's some legions.
Omega Men.
Oh, Omega Men, yeah. Omega Men.
So is this his first appearance in Superman books?
I think in the Superman
I
book,
think in this, yeah.
Okay, I could not remember because I'm not really a Lobo fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, me either.
And I could not remember. I feel like he's just one of those characters that was just created just because like we want someone who's rude, vile, basically can't be killed, hurt, or anything, and does whatever. And everyone's going to like him because he's anti-establishment.
Right. Just shakes things up a bit. He's a force of chaos.
It's not just for boys.
I'm sorry, no, I had to. Anti-establishment. I just had to. I'm sorry. But again, we're teasing a lot of like upcoming stuff here. Like we see Amanda McCoy again. We haven't seen her since like right before Exile and stuff.
Right.
Which that whole thing's going to come to a head by the time Batman shows up. What?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Batman, my favorite character.
Yeah. Of course, we get the old shaven with the heat vision.
Yes, you'll love that. That's become a mainstay now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, as far as an anniversary issue goes, what do you guys think of this?
It's not bad because, I mean, it kind of deals with a lot of, like, anniversary or annuals do where it kind of sums up what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, like, retells you in a different way what's been going on with all your characters so you can kind of play catch-up.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at the same time, it turns around and plants some seeds for upcoming story.
Mm-hmm. But as far as like anything grandiose happening in it, nothing really.
Yeah,
there's nothing really monumental which happens in this issue, but it's a lot of really good spotlights on individual stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we saved the submarine, but yeah, no,
that's true.
It's a lot of flashbacks, a lot of setup, and Clark Kent never told an off-color joke. Not one dirty limerick, nothing.
He was tired. He was off.
But yeah, I mean, again, like you said, nothing monumental, but just a lot of just like showcasing Clark and Superman
and an excuse to get all these great different talents together. Kurt Swan and Jerry Ordway and George Perez and Kerry Gamble all in one issue. I definitely.
It was basically the art team was basically Kurt Swan and all the current Superman like artists.
Right. Yeah. But I love that. It's so good. Yeah. Anytime they do that, I'm always pleased with it.
And I mean, and that Cramden guy, who's flying Draga to Earth. I mean, is that supposed to be a play on like Ralph Cramden?
The
Honeymooners, yeah. Because I think at one point he even says at the to the moon out or something like
Yeah. What does that even mean? There was some that I saw where they were making fun of. They're like, "What does that even mean? What is that?"
It was subtle wife beating, or back in the day, Tyler.
I know. Back when you could pull that off. Nobody cared.
Exactly.
I don't condone that. I'm just saying it was a joke.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was looking at his thing here. I was trying to see. I'm like, would they mention that? But no mention in the file here. But yeah, I was like, okay. Oh, even in 1990, I'm like, that's an old reference, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of those references now that people will think that it's what you're referencing is what somebody's later reference.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't know the origin.
Mm-hmm.
They just know where maybe like Family Guy or something else referenced it.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that's what you're referencing.
Yeah.
Right. The original. Yeah.
It's like people who say like, "You're killing me, Smalls," or whatever, but they don't know where it comes from.
Yeah.
That makes me feel old and awkward.
Exactly. All right. Should we get to the next one?
Yes, the beginning of our epic story.
I know. They seem to pack, for a regular size issue, they packed some stuff into that in this one.
They really did.
Superman 41, yeah.
Yeah.
Which you can tell by the cover.
Yeah.
I love it. It's like, oh, yes, this is everything you're going to see this issue. All right. So, Superman, Volume 2, number 41 from March 1990. The Nature of the Beast. Writer and penciler Jerry Ordway, inker Dennis Jang, colors Glenn Whitmore, letterer John Costanza, and editors Mike Carlin and Jonathan Peterson. Okay, that's one. I know this is a smaller issue, but it's a bigger synopsis. Superman arrives at the Kryptonian fortress made by the Eradicator in Antarctica to store the kryptonite samples Dr. Sanchez gave him, because, yes, they needed to, after the forearm tear. Well, he had an allergic reaction to the forearm tear. Yes, Dr. Sanchez had to use the kryptonite bullets Bloodsport used way back in Superman 4. So, and then he was like, "Here, I don't want these." So Superman's taking him to the fortress. When he enters the chamber, he feels a static buildup. Once Superman puts the kryptonite in a cold storage vault melted in the ice wall, he flies back to Metropolis, and as he leaves, he contemplates this could be a good place to unwind. In a bar in space, Draga hires a space cab to take him to Earth to fight a rematch against Superman. I felt like some of this was like repeat from like Action 650. Because again, we see Lobo arriving again. As he leaves, Lobo arrives at the same bar looking for a fight. Yeah. He overhears a pair of hollow chip traders talking about a wager on Draga's rematch with Superman. He asked them about this wager, and the traders hire him to fight against Superman before Draga can get to him, considering Lobo is more capable than the defeated champion. Rolf, an alien with teleporting abilities, is asked to take him to Earth and record the whole battle. Back on Metropolis, Clark is bored in his news time office. He's still thinking about all the Kryptonian artifacts he found in the fortress and prefers to be there rather than on the job. Clark notifies Mara that he'll be taking the day off, but she lets him know Martha Kent called and that Jimmy Olsen is waiting to see him. Clark asks her for her to lie and say he is unavailable, something that makes her feel uncomfortable. Jimmy walks out of the building angry and heads on to the Project Cadmus alone. Mara breaks into Clark's office to complain about how he forced her to lie, interrupting his phone call. Back on the phone, Martha invites Clark to Lana's birthday party, but he accepts reluctantly. Lana's birthday meal has already begun at the Kent farm, and when she is about to blow out the candles, Superman arrives, blowing the candles out upon his entrance. Lana receives him with a kiss, but Clark is emotionless. Jonathan asks if he brought a present for Lana, and he replies he didn't think to gift her anything. Martha gives him a plate of cake and asks if he wants to change out of the costume, but Superman is comfortable with the suit. He sits on the couch with Lana and makes a skeptical comment about how Kryptonians never celebrate birthdays as humans do. Martha, John, and Lana notice something's wrong with Superman's attitude. Jimmy arrives at the project's Wild area and meets with the Guardian. Jimmy explains he's looking for information about his father, who was involved with Cadmus when he vanished. Meanwhile, Lobo and Rolf arrive at Metropolis. Lobo sees Bibbo wearing a t-shirt with the inscription Superman's Pal and assumes he knows where to find the Kryptonian. Lobo enters the barn, threatens Bibbo to tell him about Superman. The three of them fly away, and Lobo follows Superman's smell to the Antarctic. Thoughts?
It's a lot.
I know, that's what I said. It seems like there's more than Action 650.
It does. If you take away all of the flashbacks in Action
Yeah.
Comics 650, that is true, actually. Yeah.
So my first thing is like you talk about Clark's obsessed with the artifacts. Okay, makes sense. Like I said earlier, his new job was not wise for him to take. Because he's not getting his job done. Now Jimmy here with the lady, she's an intern. They call her an intern.
Yeah, but she's kind of like Clark's secretary or assistant or something.
Right, but how old is she? Because the way she acts, I'm like, is this going to be Jimmy's new thing now? We know that Jimmy likes older women.
Yeah,
you know.
The cat, yeah.
Yeah, but she won't be around too much longer. And the whole thing with Jimmy, again, I get it. Clark's a jerk to him, and yeah, he was a complete jerk. But I'm just like, if Jimmy went to storm Project Cadmus, what was Clark going to do? I mean, he doesn't know Clark's Superman. What was Clark going to do?
Yeah.
Clark's not getting him in the
plan
Cadmus.
for once he gets in there?
Yeah, exactly.
What was his plan for once he gets in there past Guardian and all those other people in Project Cadmus? What was his plan? What was he going to do?
What, did he think Clark could just like call someone and be like, oh yeah, give this boy a tour of Cadmus.
Right.
Give this boy a tour of this top secret military installation. See?
Yeah, it's no big deal. He only works for a newspaper, you know?
Yeah,
no big deal.
I get it. Maybe he thinks, he has more power now. But I mean, the government's going to laugh in his face.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, and I love how he just happened to fall down the face of that ravine, and Guardian just happened to be there to catch him at the precise moment.
That's called perfect timing.
Yes,
again,
the other
that
thing
happens
is,
a lot in Metropolis.
Maybe there's some alarms or something. I don't know, but
well, yeah.
I just think like it's ironic that Jimmy's dad was like the liaison.
Yeah.
And then we have.
Don't get me started on Lana. I mean, like, I get it. Clark's cold and emotionless, so there was really no reaction to the kiss. But I'm just like, you two aren't romantic. How much of a kiss did you want besides a peck on the lip? I mean, was she just like,
They were high school sweethearts. They weren't like,
hey, where's my birthday tongue? Come on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
come on, Clark. We always go down by the brook and make out.
And I mean, he even like,
especially with your parents right there.
Yeah, their kids are like, right there. They're having cake. They're taking pictures, and then he's like, "I'm comfortable in my Superman suit, just sitting back eating cake."
Yeah.
That would have been the funniest thing. Someone just look. That would have been funny if someone's looking in the window. There's Superman eating cake on the couch.
Yeah, just casually. Yeah. Hey, I need to drop off this. Oh, Superman! Oh my God.
But we all know he was Clark's brother growing up. It's fine.
I know. I mean, like that. How does that story even hold water? If Lois had asked anyone in Smallville, did you ever see the Kents with young Superman? No.
They're like, who? Super what?
What?
But then she was upset that she felt uncomfortable or whatever because Clark asked her to lie. Not a very good secretary in the 80s. Okay, I know this is like early 90s, but still.
And again, like you're saying, they're calling her an intern. So I wonder if she's still like, I don't know, like she like a college intern or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how old is this girl? Jimmy's trying to find out.
She does have a very 1989 haircut.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That haircut, yes.
Yeah.
And then Lobo's doing.
I bet a lot of interns in 1989 were rocking that hairstyle.
That's the female mullet right there.
Yeah, it is. That's the chicklet. And then you have all the Lobo stuff that I'm just kind of like,
I think
that was they dragged that out a little bit too long, but I did forget how adorable those shark aliens are. I thought, oh my God, look at them! They don't even have like sharp teeth; they've got like human teeth. It's so funny.
My favorite moment of the issue is when he's passing Lex's jet and he like looks in the window. He's like, man, these humans are ugly.
Yeah, that part was good. Yeah.
Our brief Lex Luthor cameo appearance.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah. We did get one in this issue.
Yeah, he wasn't in 650.
Yeah, and we saw Bibbo again.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit of a bar fight between him and Lobo. That's funny.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like Lobo as like the drunken antagonist. I mean, again, spoilers. He's going to like win the lottery and buy the bar, and he kind of becomes a better guy.
Yeah.
Because he becomes more charitable and tries to be more like Superman. But
Right.
yeah, I don't like him as like the drunken brawler.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
I don't like him with Bibbo either. Like, like this version of Bibbo yet is not the version of Bibbo that I like.
Yeah.
And then he's like the supposedly the objective observer, because he has to wear those glasses that record the Lobo Superman fight.
Right. Which we'll see is hilariously used at the end of the next issue.
Yes.
That's so funny. And I love the teleporter alien, too. I had actually forgotten about him as well. Ralph?
Yeah.
I just think that he is so funny.
Okay, Justin, you're more with Marvel than Tyler, so tell me if you got the vibes. The Lobo and Ralph, were they kind of like a Wolverine
and
Nightcrawler?
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. I think that the subtle hint is there. Yeah,
Wolverine, the guy who beat Lobo in the Marvel vs. DC crossover in the 90s.
He did.
Well, yeah,
he did.
You couldn't have had Wolverine not get beat.
Oh yeah, he used his greatest power on
especially
Lobo.
in the 90s.
He used his greatest power on Lobo, popularity.
Yeah, well, yeah. Even in the 90s, it was still a clear winner was decided that year.
I mean,
what was that? 1995.
I think it was 95 or 96. Yeah, because Ben Reilly was Spider-Man. Yeah,
right.
But yeah, no, we always talk about this on Marvel Tales. Yeah, and at Marvel in the 90s, you could have had your first issue either had Spider-Man, Wolverine, Ghost Rider, or Punisher within your first couple issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. But yeah, anything else with this one? Like we were saying, like what you said, they drug out that Lobo coming to Earth thing.
That was protracted quite a bit. Yeah, and I love the artwork. I think it's great.
Although Lobo still beats Strong at Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. Yeah. The artwork's great. All the story stuff's great. I like the little subtle things going on with Clark, where he's becoming more cold and emotionless and robotic and distant, and there's no real clear explanation as to that yet. I really like that.
Static electricity.
It's interesting because just like it's one of those things I feel like in a way it's subtly written to where you're like, are they making him like this, or is just the writer not knowing how to write the character? You're like, are they just
because it was Jerry who was writing it too, right? Yeah,
Jerry was doing this one.
Yeah.
I think they did that on purpose, where it's like, if you didn't notice, you'll notice by the time the crossover starts.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do notice, it makes you feel smart because you're like, oh, I noticed he was acting weird for months. Yeah.
I was in there. I was in the thick of it. I went to junior college. I knew what was going on.
I was there.
I graduated Metropolis Junior College. I recognized what's going on.
I took a semester.
I was there when Lobo swung around Superman by his cape.
Oh, let's get to that one.
Yes, one of the most hilarious Superman covers ever.
I know. I know. I was
years ago. I was talking about this issue with a friend of mine, and neither one of us had read this issue in years, but we both remembered it. And just talking about this cover, we both started laughing so hard.
I'd forgotten about this cover. Yeah.
Look at the look on Lobo's face.
Well, I just like the look on Superman's face. Like he's I don't know, some comics, like some of them, like have you have you like when you read a comic and Justin's losing it.
Looks like a Silver Age cover. I mean, if that was any more Silver Age cover, I mean, Lobo would have Superman over his knee spanking him,
Yeah. We're like, I can't even remember right now. But like,
that cover.
The art for the face is just like bad, but the rest of the art's great.
Yes.
Yeah, like his face. His face looks like
the face is off, but the rest.
I mean, I get the grimace, but yeah, his face looks a little puffy almost. All right. I mean, but it's worthy of this issue. All right. Adventures of Superman 464 from March 1990. Blood Brawl. Writer and penciler Dan Jurgens. Inker Art Thibert. Colors Glenn Whitmore. Letterer Albert de Guzman. And editors Mike Carlin and Jonathan Peterson.
Listen, we have totally lost Justin.
As long as that covers up, I'm not going to be able to focus.
See, I don't even need the drop. Stereo.
This is live dropping.
Yeah, right.
I know. All right. The first 4 words of this synopsis are going to set the scene, kids. A very drunk Lobo arrives at the Fortress of Solitude with the also drunk Bibbo Bibkowski and Ralph. They enter the fortress but don't find Superman anywhere. Superman shows up and tells them to get out. Lobo threatens Superman and explains why he's there. When Superman tells Lobo that he won't be able to hit him fast enough before Superman could dodge, Lobo kicks Superman in the face instead. I always watch them feed kids.
Yeah.
While Superman picks himself up, Lobo continues to insult and make fun of Superman. Superman spins around and punches Lobo in the face. Lobo kicks Superman again and grabs Superman by the neck, explaining who he is and why Superman should be afraid of him. Superman jokes that Darkseid would hire Amazing Grace to do his dirty work, but not Lobo.
I love that.
Yeah, because Lobo goes, you know who Darkseid goes to when he needs his dirty work done? Superman, Amazing Grace. Why
Amazing
you?
Grace? Yeah, that was great.
Even under the Eradicator's influence, he's still giving him.
Yeah.
Lobo gets angry and starts punching Superman's face in and starts slamming Superman's head into a wall. Superman escapes into the next room and Lobo follows. Lobo finds Superman, who is apparently standing in an open desert area. Lobo jumps at him and Superman ducks, and Lobo smashes into the desert behind him, which was a hologram projected onto a wall. Lobo catches up to Superman again, and the two's battle rages all around the fortress. Superman blasts his heat vision at Lobo, and who shrugs it off and rips up the floor and attacks Superman with it. They smash through another wall, and Lobo kicks Superman into a corridor, all the while rambling on about Superman's reputation and how he got it. Lobo finally jumps on Superman and begins pummeling him. Superman escapes and flees, and Lobo wonders why he's so weak. Lobo finds the canister of kryptonite behind the wall, explaining why Superman was so weak, although it wasn't open yet. Outside, Superman is inside a suit of Kryptonian battle armor awaiting Lobo's arrival. Lobo comes outside, and Superman and Lobo begin going at it again. Lobo fires 2 missiles from his space hog, which explode on the armor, apparently killing Superman. Lobo drinks more of the alcohol that they had, and he falls unconscious from his drunkenness. Later, Lobo returns to the bar he was at earlier and gives the 2 dolphin creatures the recorder he gave Bibbo to record his fight with Superman as evidence of Superman's demise. The creatures check it only to find that the recorder had been facing backwards at Bibbo's face the whole time, and none of Lobo's fight with Superman was recorded. Alright, thoughts?
Well, my first thought, if we look at the beginning of the book, really is the interaction between Clark and Lois, where Clark is second-guessing why would Lois even care to talk to him or anything.
Oh, yeah. So he's like, why should we socialize? We don't work together anymore.
Yeah. Now, why is she seeming so emotional? So that's one of those where I'm just like, something's wrong with Clark. Something's wrong with Clark.
Yeah, and then also his reaction when he discovers the 3 of these people in his base. He's just like, what are you doing here? Get out of my home! Like, it's just, his reaction is just very strange for him. You can see his, like, face in the shadows. And yeah, it's very different.
Nobody lays a finger on my Eradicator. Oh, but I love Lobo threatening Ralph in the beginning. Hey, I think there's a cave underneath here. Go teleport in. Well, if it's solid rock, I'll die. He's like, well, you're going to die if you don't go down there and check it. But yeah, the whole thing with Clark and Lois, yeah, he's like, don't worry, kids. They're going to get together soon.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Oh, was it 460, issue 466? Yeah.
Is that the big reveal?
No, that's the appearance of a certain astronaut and his 3 friends.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
A
you know
Mr.
what?
Henshaw.
You know what? I think no, they do appear during the Krypton Man real brief, like a cameo. But yeah, but Hank Henshaw's first appearance is coming.
The Henshaws.
Yeah, pre-cyborg. Yeah, he's coming.
Whatever happened to the other three of them? Did they all die?
Oh,
in
we're gonna get to
story?
that in 466. Yeah.
Yeah.
The rest of yeah.
Well, yeah, we won't spoil it for those who haven't read
But
it.
again, another like Marvel reference. Yeah, this scientist and his three friends, his
Yes.
woman and his two friends go.
Yeah. Things go horribly wrong for them, as you can imagine.
But yeah, and Clark doesn't even like.
Or they go fantastic.
Oh. But yeah, after the
Nicely
whole
done.
Lois encounter, like Clark doesn't even like question. It's like, oh hey, I'm getting a flash from the fortress. There's intruders. You know, he's basically getting a vision.
Yeah, and then when his clothes changed,
Yeah.
that was the thing that first when I was first reading this when it came out, I was like, oh wow, so this is something's happening here. Okay, this is what this Krypton Man stuff is about, I guess. Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was a great mystery. Yeah.
And like I said, Draga, man, he's so far behind. He's still where Superman buried the cleric.
The cleric on that asteroid. Still screaming into the abyss on the asteroid.
Oh, I think they're 20 miles from the bar. They're 20 miles from the bar still.
Yeah.
And that's so weird. He's like wearing Superman's, the shirt he left behind.
I know, yeah. And he's driving around that weird old cruiser thing.
It is weird. Because like I said, it took me a second to try to remember who he was. I was like, wait. Because when I was reading, I was like, did I miss something? I thought like maybe no. I was like, wait, I've seen this guy.
Yeah.
Oh, and then
he's just drawn differently in this issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Lobo, there's a couple of panels in this issue where Lobo looks different. Like there's one panel where Superman punches Lobo, and it looks like it makes Lobo's hairs on his head stand on end or something. Like he stuck his finger in an electric socket.
I know, this fight is so brutal. Some of these panels, his hair looks like Mora's.
Yeah.
I just think like as they fight, like Superman keeps like, I gotta where I'm trying to remember what he says like exactly. It's like, I can't win this, or I can't take much more of this. And
well, again, I think that that's part of the reason they use Lobo is because Superman at this point is fighting very logically, and Lobo is not a creature of logic.
Right.
Because again,
he's the absolute opposite of logic.
Yeah. Eventually, we're gonna get more fights with Lobo, and it's gonna be Superman's gonna be able to take him more easily because he won't be under a certain influence.
Well, we have Lana, crying, and the Kents try to Clark, drop this off.
Clark doesn't care. Maybe I should leave Smallville forever.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I know he was acting like a jerk, but again, it's like he's Superman. I'm sorry he can't spend every minute with you.
Don't forget we have Mr. Owner
Colin
Clark.
Thornton, yeah,
who's like, man, I should fire Kent.
Where's Kent? He's never here. Oh yeah, and then Clark fired that guy who'd been there for 32 years.
Yep. So he's like, as long as I'm here, you would have a job here. And he's like,
I guess, I think I'm trying to remember if the firing comes next episode. I think it comes in the middle of Krypton Man. So yeah, I told you that news time job wasn't lasting too long.
Yeah.
Is it this one? Well, I'm trying to find where Clark pulls something that was sweet. I think maybe it was this one. Maybe it's not. I can't remember.
Oh, the other thing from the action issue is we see Perry was hurt when Clark left the planet.
But yeah, Perry doesn't always treat him like that. But yeah, Clark with the whole robot armor thing is weird.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool. Actually, I wasn't expecting that.
Again, that's one of the things the Eradicator put in the fortress, and this thing will show up again.
Yeah.
Reign of the Superman.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
but it made sense to me that in the heat of this moment, when he's being attacked in his own home.
Well, and again, the Eradicator's trying to make him more Kryptonian, so of course, maybe he would use a Kryptonian weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Relying on hereditary weaponry rather than his powers. Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, actually. And it didn't last for very long. It was just for a few pages, so I didn't feel like it was the centerpiece of the issue. That moment, I thought it was just kind of something cool and unexpected.
And that holographic room again. I feel like this is another X-Men reference. Danger Room.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I feel like we're doing subtle Marvel nods and jokes in these because, again, I swear I felt X-Men references here. Like I said, when Henshaw
With
shows
Wolverine and Nightcrawler,
Yeah.
definitely.
And when
I mean,
Henshaw
you also
shows
get that you had so many people working back and forth between both companies.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Oh yeah,
That's
Roger
true.
Stern was back and forth. Yeah.
Although I think Dan Jurgens was at DC for quite a while. He was on Booster Gold before Superman.
Yeah, I don't
Wasn't
think.
he?
Yeah, I don't think Dan Jurgens had gone to Marvel yet. Yeah.
Yeah, but
So-
he did later on, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because after Mark Waid, he took over Captain America. So yeah.
Right. That's right.
Oh, and he did write Sensational Spider. Yeah, was it Sensational? Yeah, when Ben Reilly was. Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, because
Oh, okay.
when that series started, yeah, because that's what they
Oh, I
said.
missed that.
He wasn't happy with that because they said he wanted to write Peter Parker's Spider-Man. So when he gets over there, they're like,
Oh.
"Oh yeah, Peter Parker's on Spider-Man at the moment. You got to write Ben Reilly."
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like, great. Thanks a lot, guys.
Just wait, man. You know, it'll be back.
They'd be like, Tyler, you get to write the Superman book for a year.
Meanwhile, it's Reign of the Supermen.
Yeah, but it's Hank Henshaw.
Oh,
But he's
Yeah.
dead, and you're actually writing Cyborg Superman.
Yeah.
Son of a...
A whole year of that.
Tyler, Superman's dead, but you can have Bibbo.
Look, the only I like Bibbo as a character, the idea, but my favorite Bibbo, honestly, is from the Death and Return of Superman animated movie,
Oh, yeah, that was good. Yeah.
where they
yeah.
play him a little bit more straight than like this
Yes.
overweight, drunken.
Yeah, just a kind of a
Buffoon.
bumbling.
And again, he's gonna
Yeah.
he's gonna become a nicer guy here too. But yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
he'll
like the
change,
drunken.
yeah.
Yeah.
Lobo was not a good influence for him in this issue, in this story.
Exactly.
It was the worst possible influence you could have for Bibbo.
But yeah, then Superman uses the hologram to make them think he's dead. So then Rolf teleports them away, and I love Superman. He's like, I figured those three were drunk enough that the hologram could fool that.
Yeah. But, as we'll see soon enough, Lobo and Superman have a rematch
Oh yeah, I think it's
very
I
soon.
think it's one of those annuals. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, oh, that was quick. Jeez, I guess
course it
that
was.
last issue was really popular, and they wanted to get back to some more of that.
But then just teasing us more, that last panel with Superman. He's like, strange, I never knew I had the skill to run the war suit, much less create a hologram. So how did I do it? How was the Eradicator's glowing behind them?
Yes. Yeah. How indeed.
It's like, oh, I guess I'm hallucinating Kryptonian clothes, and I didn't know I could make a hologram. It's like,
Yeah.
For
Maybe
somebody who's
I
turning
should-
logical, you're not thinking very logically.
Yeah, maybe I should go to the Justice League for help. Or I can just ignore it, whatever.
Or try to get rid of the Eradicator again, which he will, but
it's-
that's going to backfire on.
Admittedly, it should have caused a little bit of concern when this one Kryptonian artifact caused an entire gigantic base to spring up around it.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
That should have raised a few alarms with Clark.
Well, before, yeah, and then like the first time he confronted it, it wiped his memory. He didn't remember until Hamilton brought it up. Yeah.
Yeah. It's at that point when I would have said, you know what, maybe I should bring the Justice League up here and check out this place and make sure that everything's okay.
Yeah, he wasn't as close with the Justice League at this point.
I
And
know.
I don't know what he'd do
That's-
with it, because again, I mean, we're going to see him try to get rid of it again. He can't. It's like, he can't destroy
Yeah.
the damn thing.
Yeah.
I love the end. You see Ralph and Lobo, go back to those guys, but like, oh yeah, I got the video. It's like, where's Bibbo? It's I'm like, I assume they just left them on Earth, but can you imagine they just left Bibbo on some planet?
Just randomly, yeah.
Lobo's so drunk he don't even remember. He's like, Superman, who he?
Yeah. What planet am I on?
Superman, ain't he a bartender in Omega 4? So, yep, Krypton Man has started, kids, but
Indeed. It's not really in full swing yet, though.
Oh, no,
it's
no,
just
no.
kind
Yeah.
of. It's starting to pick up steam in this issue.
oh, it's gonna get even better. It's
But-
gonna be way better next time. Yeah. Maxima, Draga,
Maxima.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Maxima to come back.
Careful what you wish for, Maxima.
I know. Yeah, she's not going to have a good time with this. But
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see that unfold in the next episode.
All right. Any final thoughts, boys? Tyler, final thoughts?
I'm interested to see where it all goes.
Oh yeah. And again, oh, that's right. I forgot. Ma and Paul Kent are going to try to step in too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Right at the very end, there's a really great conclusion to this. Yeah, nice epic conclusion. Yeah, this is great. It's been fun revisiting this, and especially for that cover. Oh my god, that cover will always make me laugh.
I forgot about that cover. Yeah, because the first time I read this, I read it in a trade, and I didn't see the cover. When I finally got the issue and the cover, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, any one of those elements would make me laugh. Just the look on Lobo's face, the look on Superman's face, the choreography of his body, the fact that he's getting slung by his cape. But all of those things together, combined, just, so funny. So funny.
All right. So, next time, we're gonna wrap up. We'll do the rest of the Krypton, Day of the Krypton Man from Action Comics 651 and 652, Superman 42, and Adventures of Superman 465. And then next month, we'll do Superman 43 and Adventures 466. Again, the first full appearance of Hank Henshaw. And then, guess who's back when we do Adventures of Superman Annual 2 and Legion Annual 1.
That's right.
Lobo's gonna make a quick turnaround, kids.
Yep.
And again, Batman is coming in March.
Isn't that a 3-part story?
Yes. Yeah. Because it's an issue of Action, an issue of Superman. It was the whole month. It was all through all 3 books. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, that one's something else. All right, kids. So, send us your thoughts on all of that. Oh, Ray, we need you in March.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, if we can get Lilith, we can get Ray, that'd be something.
Oh, man. We'll have the full complement. Have the full crew.
All right, kids. So, send us your thoughts. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics episodes, social media, merchandise. Get the brand new Capes Lunatics merch, the classic Capes and Lunatics merch. And of course, she who is no stranger to a bar, Lilith Hellfire, demands that you rain random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Don't make us dance on that pole. We're too drunk to remember it.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And of course, Patreon, where Lilith and I give you something exclusive and uncensored every month. And if you are a subscriber, you can suggest topics for us to talk about, as Justin has done many times.
Yes.
And you're dropping the ball, Ray. Remember the new gag Lilith came up with? Oh, that's sweet old man. All right, so yes. All right, so subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics and find everything at tubespace.ao/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. That's tubespace.ao/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
Tyler, do you keep getting spam like, oh hey, we can help you, we can help grow your podcast?
Yes.
Everybody does.
Oh yeah.
I've talked to at least 2 or 3 other podcasters. Everyone's getting that crap.
Oh hey, I saw you I stumbled upon your podcast and just thought I could help you.
All the best. I got a message on Facebook. They're like, oh, we're going to delete your, one of your pages. I was like, okay. And guess what the name was?
What?
First name Tab, last name Lette. Tablet. I'm like, I'm sure this is real.
Yeah, they put a lot of effort into that one.
Tablet.
Wow.
Yeah, I got that like 3
tablet
days in a row.
Uh-huh.
I was like, no.
What happened to laptop, LAP, and then the last name's TOPPE?
Talk to my lawyer, sue you. All right, Tyler, tell everyone where they can hear more Superman talk on the Krypton Report, because Hootie's got a bunch of plugs.
Krypton Report. The best place for all your Superman DC conversation.
With that force of nature, Mr. James Cole.
With the great and powerful Jimmy Cole.
That's right.
Jimmy Olsen.
Hey, did you guys see a couple days ago? I didn't know this was a thing. It was National Pretend to be a Time Traveler Day or something.
Nope.
No.
I swear I told you guys about that tomorrow.
Look how funny Phil is.
That's a dad joke.
Well,
Yeah, it is.
can't say I'm not on brand. All right. All right. Now for this Hootie, this Justin the Owl. You can catch him here every so often on Electric Mullet. You can catch him at least once a month on We're the Night.
The Batman podcast
At the end of every
Azrael.
Yes, at the end of every month, talking Azrael, and sometimes he'll pop on with me and Lilith to talk when things strike his fancy, like Catwoman episodes, or if we ever do more Killer Moth.
Killer Moth.
Yes, he is the kid.
You've always got me on board for more Killer Moth.
He's that guy. He's the kid.
That's
Killer
right.
Moth.
Or Condiment King.
Oh. And of course,
Film Freak.
Film Freak. He's make what, like 2 appearances? Yeah.
And one of them was his death.
Yes, when Bane beat him to death. Yeah.
Right.
And of course, you can always catch him on Capes and Lunatics. At least every week on Marvel Tales and/or X-Men Classics, where you get all your Marvel talk. And again, you'll get random One World Under Doom or Energon Universe episodes. And he's now
Coming
joining
soon, the Ultimate Spider Cast with Ray.
Yes, you'll hear him once a month.
Scarlet Spider.
Me and Ray, that kind old man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that is not all. You'd think that'd be a full-time job, but that's not all Justin does. He podcasts on other
also
shows.
Find me on these shows every month.
Yes.
Gamma Charge with Russell,
Yes.
where we talk about the Immortal Hulk or the Sensational She-Hulk each month. And over on Ray joins me and Sparky to talk about some classic Dark Horse comics featuring Fox's Predator. And on the Lost Library of Legends, my solo show, I'm doing a multiple-part retrospective on an Ultraverse title from the 90s.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch.
All the way back.
Oh, that's naughty.
It does sound just the right blend of demented.
I don't know what would be worse for a man, to be laughed at by Lilith or to be laughed at by Justin. They've each destroyed men in their own way. All right, kids.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us again. Next week, part 2, and the conclusion of Day of the Krypton Man.
Yes. And the return of Maxima.
And Jaga, yes. Finally get that battle.
Yes.
And we'll try to take care of that pesky Eradicator, but
For a little while.
Mark loses his job. Sorry, kids. No one swings Superman around like a yo-yo next time.
Like a drunken Lobo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, kids. Make sure you come back next time for more truth, justice, and the Mullet Way. Friends don't let friends travel through space drunk.